Virtual assistants are very helpful. They make our lives easier, do simple tasks for us like setting alarms. But are they really as smart as they're supposed to be? Come with me, I want to show you something. Just show you something for a bit about Google Assistant. Come with me. Hey Google. Oh no, bro. Yeah, I'm very sorry. So you see exactly what I'm talking about. They are not that smart.
Hey guys, welcome back to Blaze channel. As you must have guessed by now, we're talking about Google Assistants found in Android devices. They help us in our day-to-day activities. So let's discuss some advantages, disadvantages, and what they can do that you don't know. So the Google Assistant, as the name goes, is an assistant, but it's a virtual one, meaning it's not physical. It's found in your phone. It can perform simple tasks for us like making a phone call, sending a text message, and so much more. So let me show you an example of what I've been talking about. I'm going to perform a simple task with my Google Assistant. Hey Google, call Emeka.
Calling Emeka, please call.
Some of these tasks may seem too simple to you, like making a phone call. I can do that with my hand, or a text message, but they actually are very, very helpful. The other day I was washing, I was doing some laundry, and I had to call someone, and I just had to tell my Google, and it worked. You can set alarms for people's birthdays without even having to touch your phone, and it generally just makes life very, very easy. And plus, you feel like Tony Stark each time you call your Google Assistant, hey Google, and it just comes up, and you can be like, how's the weather today? But like everything in life, there are some downsides to the Google Assistant. Firstly, it claims to have voice recognition, but every single time you say hey Google, almost every gadget around that area that's Android just lights up and is waiting for your response, which is a bit annoying, like you guys saw in the beginning of the video. The second disadvantage is that it loses context after a while. Context, like when you say hey Google, good morning, and it replies, and then when you now say something else, it just forgets that you were talking before and it begins to ask you all over again, what are you talking about? That's very bad, and it proves it's not as smart as we want to. But it's not really much of a difference, because with time you learn how to ask it questions and it gets better. And lastly but not leastly, for those of us in this part of the world, Nigeria, where mobile data is still what we use for our day-to-day activities, it uses a lot of mobile data. Like after having a reasonable conversation with Google, just check your data balance and you could see like 300 megabytes gone in just a little conversation. So now I'm going to tell you some things you didn't know you could ask your Google Assistant. Some very, very tricky questions, including some personal questions. Get ready. So let's say your phone brightness is really low and you're under the sun, you can't see it yourself. All you have to do is to tell your Google Assistant to do it for you. Hey Google, increase my screen brightness to 100%.
Setting brightness.
As you can see, it just increases your brightness, and this is a problem most of us face under the sun. So let's say you're worried about the weather that particular day. You can just ask your phone, hey Google, how's the weather going to be today?
It'll be cloudy, with a high of 27 and a low of 23. Currently it's 25 and partly cloudy.
That's just very simple.
So I was walking on the road and I found two crazy people.
Subject number 1 and 2.
And they are going to be in this video by force. So tell them your name.
Hey.
So tell us your name. So just drop.
Okay. Subject number 2. Okay.
So how many things did you guys actually know you could do with your Google Assistant? Like, be honest.
What do you mean by how many things?
Like, what have you ever done with your Google Assistant before?
Regulate my data usage. Okay.
Data usage.
The man's
He just listens to our voice for pleasure.
That's
Imagine.
alright.
And we're
Okay.
discussing the important uses.
This is.
I didn't ask questions, sha.
Yeah, so
Type
I just ask you
questions.
questions.
Okay.
So, did you know that your Google Assistant could solve basic mathematical calculations? You didn't.
They solve maths now. This confirm is a Google assistant and solving maths.
Hold on.
So these two people are behaving a bit crazy. So I'm going to get somebody else that's going to make things very interesting.
Subject
So
number
what
3
is your
arrives.
name? He says his name is Francis. So
Again.
So how many things did you know you could do with your Google Assistant?
Just ask her to do things. That's all.
Like what things?
I
Just
had
things. I hope it's not.
Open my contacts.
Okay, your
Finish.
contacts. Okay, at least you're
And
doing
some
very
apps.
well with them. So now we're going to ask the Google Assistant to perform a little mathematical calculation for us. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for the mathematical calculation? Okay, bring the camera closer.
Now, then.
Hey Google, 43 times 42.
The answer is 1,806.
Big boy.
Okay.
Big boy.
On me. So let's take things a little bit more complex. Come again. Hey Google, what is 9 factorial?
9 factorial is 362,880.
So you see that you can actually use it for some calculations you never knew before. So the next thing now is rap. Did you actually know that a Google Assistant could rap for you? Like seriously? Let's ask these Momo people. The first is Francis. Francis, did you know your Google Assistant could rap?
No, actually.
Did you know your Google Assistant could rap?
No, sir.
And did you? Madman,
Mbano.
did you? So let's test it out. Hey Google, rap for me.
So you want to hear my flow? Well, there is something that you should know. I'm really into being as helpful as possible. I think you and I would learn a
So this last question now is a bit controversial. A lot of people ask it, but I've not done it before. Let's try it. I'm going to ask Google to be my girlfriend or my date, wife, anyone she chooses. She's shy a girl and I'm a boy. So let's go.
Okay.
So hey Google, will you be my girlfriend?
This is one of those things we'd both have to agree on. I'd prefer to keep our relationship friendly. Romance would be incredibly
Rejection guy. She don't understand me. No, she don't understand me. Hey Google, will you be my date?
I'll go anywhere you take me.
Hey Google, will you marry me?
Yeah.
I'm already married to my job, which is helping you.
Everybody's smiling.
That one good or bad?
I know, I'm still very confused, like whether that is good or bad. Thank you
thanks for
so
watching.
much for watching. I'm Blaze Channel. This is Word Weko. Those drop Francis and we'll
Hey,
see
come
you
here,
next
come here,
time.
come here. Hey,
Don't
this
forget.
way. Subscribe.
Thank you so
Subscribe,
much
oh.
for the subscribers we have.
Click
and
the working bell.
forget to
Click-
follow us.
Click the bell.
So don't forget, one thing you shouldn't do where your friends are using their phones is to say hey Google, because it will attract such beating. And don't forget, the main point of this video is to tell you your Google Assistant could do much more for you than you realize. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in our next video. Thank you.
For those of you that don't know what factorial is or paid for that mass, 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times, you know the rest. So
Times you know the rest.
This guy.
I like
Fuck.